Near here, there was a secret cave that was found reasonably recently. Alongside the paintings, they found a strange alien creature. Oh, hi everybody. I've just sat down to record an interesting video about crashed UFOs, and my sheep need breakfast. So come on, let's go and feed the sheep. You haven't done this with me before. They eat this stuff, which is grains, and we're going to go out the cave into our garden. We live here in southwest France in a old watermill. You've seen inside many times, and this is the outside. It's a 16th century building, built in the village to mill grains and even make plaster. And we're very lucky. Dorothy, my wife, and I live here. And we have sheepies. Hi, sheepies. Wallace, Iris. Hello. So let's feed them. Oh yeah. If I put that down there. Something for Wallace. Now what about the sheep? Do you want that? Here we are, sheep. Enjoy that. Hey. Happy sheep. Let's go back inside and talk about flying saucers. Always a good subject. Come on, let's go back inside. So this is the cave room. It's the underground part of our house. Behind the camera is where I keep my bicycles, and this is my desk. And we have a home theatre in here and a screen, as you can see over there. So that's how we use it. Oh, a lot of people have asked me about my home workshop. So as I'm walking and talking, I'll show you that. So over here, you've probably seen this room in the background, is the home workshop. In here, I have all the things I need to make stuff. Drill presses, and I make little model steam engines. This is an old one, this is one that I'm reviewing, and these are some of the engines which I have built. This is one that I'm currently playing with. It's a Chinese made 4-stroke engine. And it runs really well. And then over here, mind the noise, is my Warco lathe and mill combo. This is a Chinese built lathe and a mill. And down here I heat the workshop with these Chinese diesel heaters. They're really, really cheap to run and excellent. Let's turn this noisy bugger off. Thank you. Excellent. Come on, let's go back and talk about ancient aliens that might have lived in this region. I think I might have found one. Hey, here we are back again, back in the more normal studio. So this is southwest France, and humans, modern humans, not cavemen, not Neanderthals, but modern humans like you and I, have lived here since the end of the last ice age. Now, they didn't live here permanently. They came up to this region as the ice receded for the summer just to hunt, and they didn't live in caves. Caves are deep and dark and scary. They lived in camps near rivers and they hunted. Humans at the time were very rare. Europe had no humans. There was a small troop of us, but there were millions of animals, bison, horses, and even mammoths, big kind of elephant type creatures, which us little humans hunted. It must have been very dangerous. One of the things that our ancestors, ancient humans, did was to paint pictures of the wonderful animal kingdom that they lived in. I mean, animals was their source of food, and also animals killed them. They revered animals. Animals were their life. So ancient artists got very good at painting pictures of animals, and they often painted them in caves, where they didn't live, but they used them as a gallery or for some other shamanistic purpose. That's been lost in time. But near here, there was a secret cave that was found reasonably recently. Just like Tutankhamun, he was preserved in the Valley of the Kings because his tomb was covered by a geological accident. Well, here in southwest France, a famous cave called Lascaux was completely covered. There was a landslide that covered the mouth of the cave. And at the turn of the century, a few kids and a dog went out in the hillside behind this town of Montignac, and the dog went down a small hole and didn't come back. The kids opened up the hole and they found it was the entrance to a cave. And when they went in, they found the cave painted with pictures. They told their school teacher, who was keen on archaeology, and he contacted one of the most famous people who studies caves, and they opened it up and found this incredible cave of Lascaux, painted with polychromatic, meaning multicolored pictures, mainly of horses. It is absolutely beautiful. It was, of course, exploited and open to the public, and you could pay to go and see it from the end of World War II up until 1963, when it had to shut. Let me tell you why. Because the cave was sealed forever and had a very stable atmosphere, there was no humidity and there was no human sweat and tears and mold that we have on us and breathing. And so, unfortunately, the cave started decaying when millions of tourists came to look at the original cave. So by 1963, it was shut only to the great and the good, and then today, now in 2025, it is completely shut. Even scientists have to make a very, very detailed explanation of why they have to go in. So they built a replica. They scanned it with lasers, as you can see here, and they built a polystyrene and fiberglass replica of every square sub-millimeter of the cave, including the paintings. And it's amazing. It's definitely worth seeing. Although it's not a real cave anymore, it's a fiberglass replica. You can still go in a few real caves here, but do it quickly, because I think in the next decade they'll all shut for preservation. But Lascaux 4 is an accurate reproduction of this amazing cave that these boys and the dog found. But what they found inside it, I think they found a strange alien creature. So most of the cave is a chasm, and it weaves its way through eroded limestone rock, and they painted on the walls and the ceiling. But in one particular place there is a pit, a tube, closed at the bottom and narrow-walled. This is calcium carbonate, limestone, and over the time, when it gets slightly damp, the calcium carbonate exudes carbon dioxide, and this pit was entirely full of CO2, to the point where nobody could really go in it, and it wasn't of any interest. But some brave soul, maybe with breathing apparatus, lowered himself into the pit. And what they found in the bottom is the only picture of a humanoid creature in the cave depicted by the artists. It's small in stature, it has 4 fingers, and it has a head depicted like a bird with big eyes. Why was it in the pit? Was the carbon dioxide down there better for it to breathe, more analogous to its planet. I mean, was it an alien? That is what I'm asking. Who really knows? But when I took Professor Jack Sarfatti to Lascaux, anybody who comes to stay with me, I like taking them to Lascaux because it's unbelievably interesting. Jack Sarfatti and his wife kindly stayed with us for over a week and we talked about physics. It was very interesting. But on his trip to Lascaux, he of course saw this small figure and immediately turned to me and said, "That's an alien." I went, "Why?" He says, "It looks like ones that I've seen pictures of." Jack has been part of organizations and inside knowledge about extraterrestrials and is very knowledgeable. And as soon as he saw the four fingers, the bird-like head, and the short stature of the figure, he said it was an alien sheltering in the cave. Now, the reason I'm doing this story about the alien in the cave for you is because we need to find crash material, whether it's from an alien probe, whether it's from a flying saucer or a UFO, or whether it's just a piece of meteorite that's fallen from our sky, because they all have unique properties that we can test. Do they make a better battery? Do they have an anti-gravity field? All of this might lead us humans into our big step into space. And right now, everybody in the world, in universities and individuals, are collecting samples and putting them into anti-gravity type experiments to see if they have an effect. It seems that we've kind of cracked something. There are properties of what we're calling metamaterials, certain alloys, certain strange materials which don't commonly occur on Earth, that seem to shield, possibly, and effects have been recorded, gravity. If we as humans can get that to work, if we as humans can find that material, it propels us humans into a new era of existence. And it makes a lot of sense that a super advanced extraterrestrial race would build a ship using gravity modification. So the search is on for metallic samples and strange stories. So have I accidentally stumbled on an alien, possibly from a crashed UFO nearby, who is sheltering in a deep carbon dioxide rich pit in a cave here in southwest France? Just maybe, or it just might be bollocks. It's worth investigating because the truth is out there.